We're not making fun of her, Dana. You know.
It sure sounds like it.
We're an LLC. You know.
What could happen?
Who's going to sue us, Dana?
Welcome aboard. You've just stepped into Damn It, Jim, the podcast. My name is Dana Smith, and I'm sitting here with my good friend Dan Calzaretta. We're taking you on the adventure that is Starfleet Academy. Good evening, Dan.
Dana. So remember last week, the whole butt chug and vodka eye drop thing?
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to some friends of mine about the podcast, and they're like, oh, there are a lot more ways to do what you're talking about. And I'm like, I don't want to know. I really do not want to know.
Yeah. I had heard, and I think I shared it with you. Somebody told me about women doing cough syrup rectally.
Dana, what? I mean, well, one, why only women? And then two, why cough syrup? I mean, is it supposed to stop the farting?
If it stops a cough, yeah. Maybe it would stop the farting, so.
I've been to the doctor recently. They don't do the turn your head and cough thing anymore, do they?
After a certain age, they just don't care anymore, Dan.
Okay, I got to tell a little bit of a story, Dana. Now, this one, I'm not sure, what anyone's going to want to hear. But when I was young, I got a job and had to go through a physical, for this job. So the doctor's there, and he's kind of examining the sack. You know what I'm talking about? And he's like, it's probably nothing. And he goes on. I'm like, okay, hold on a second. That's not the time you want to say that's probably nothing. I didn't bother to ask because I just didn't want to know, Dana.
Yeah.
I just wanted to move along. I mean, this episode has nutsack or nutsacker or nutbreaker or whatever in it, so I guess it ties in.
Yeah, it all ties in.
But the things people do, Dana, to think they're going to get drunk or whatever, it astounds me, I guess,
Yeah, when I was in grade school, junior high.
Dana, is this going to include anything we've just talked about? Because if it does, I'm not sure I want to know.
No, one of the teachers, where they were talking about stupid things people do.
Yeah.
They were talking about kids drinking cough syrup.
Oh, right.
And the teacher said there were a group of kids in a high school that tried shooting up peanut butter.
You mean like putting it in a needle?
Yeah. And injecting it into their veins.
That can't be true, Dana. It's not the chunky, Dana.
But he said it killed them.
Well, yeah, hello.
And, so I think his point was, don't be doing stuff like that.
And all the kids went home like, the mom says, hey, do you want a peanut butter and jelly? Said, no, I do not.
Are you trying to kill me?
Well, it's funny you mention it because I sent an email over to Damn It Jim, the university, the medical school. Dana, we got a great university. I mean, I know we say this almost every week.
Why the best?
Oh, the best. Anyway, so they got back to me and they said, this is a myth. It's an urban legend stemmed from a 1969 urban legend and moral panic. So it would have been right around the time you're talking about, Dana.
I was not in junior high in 1969. I mean, I was advanced for my age and all, but.
Anyway, so yeah, in the late 60s, early 70s, it was this urban legend thing, But people do snort peanut butter. That's true.
Seriously?
No, I'm joking about that one. Hey, that teacher was lying to you, though, Dana. That teacher was lying to you. Do you remember the teacher's name? Maybe we get him on the podcast.
I don't know if he's still around.
Those urban legends, sometimes those things are hilarious, like how they get started. Like the whole thing about razor blades in apples never happened. It was never a thing.
Wow.
Second Halloween movie came out, and the opening scene, the mom's taking the kid to the hospital, and the kid's turns toward the camera, and he's got a razor blade stuck right up into between his front teeth and into his lip,
Yeah, I never saw that.
Well, did you see that they're remaking The Exorcist?
I heard that they were going to do that, yeah.
Well, I went to Catholic school, Dana, you see, and we lived The Exorcist every freaking day. Some of those nuns especially, man. Woo.
Wow, wouldn't it be great if we get the Pope on our podcast?
I wonder how the Pope feels about Starfleet Academy, Dana.
While we're wondering how people think about Starfleet Academy, why don't we get to some listener comments, Dan?
Yeah, let's do it. Why don't you start us off this week, Dana?
Jason Lowry said, Dana, you don't have to worry about Dan getting sued for revealing Taco Bell secrets. You guys have legal protection by having an LLC, remember?
That's right. He's right about that. See, I bet he's a lawyer. He knows these things, Dana. So if we get sued, I'm just going to say, look, this guy on Facebook said we're an LLC. You can't sue us.
Roxy Ray said, make it stop. Robert Weissman said, I need the feelings police. We need the police to arrest this whole crew. Then Mike Connor sent a meme of Klingons from the original series, and the guy behind the commander says, Commander, look at this shit. So that's what we got from Facebook this week. We get any other messages, Dan?
Yeah, Dana, via email, we heard from Annette McDaniel, and I don't think we've heard from her before, Dana. The name sounds new. She said, our dear Starfleet Academy made me crap harder than that time I got into Taco Bell. And by the way, enjoy your day. From YouTube, we heard from Tuning Spork. I don't think we've heard from Tuning Spork in a long time, Dana.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. Anyway, they said the Doctor's holographic family from last week's episode is from the Voyager episode Real Life. It's one of my favorite Voyager episodes.
Huh, I might have to go look at that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do the same thing, Dana. And Dana, we also heard from Annoying Critic. They quoted a line from last week's episode. And this is the exact line from Sam. I'm not even up yet, and I just can't with your midday energy before I even pull my underwear out of my butt. Do you remember that line from last week's episode?
No, but again, I kind of like half listen, half watch these days. So
anyway, Dana, that's all I have for this week.
Well, as always, we really appreciate the comments and the feedback that we get from our listeners. If you want to leave a voice message, Dan, what's that phone number?
The number is 509-676-6298.
Let's get into Starfleet Academy episode 9, 300th Night.
Penultimate episode, Dana.
So when I said 300th, did I sound like Aki? Like I was, had recently had a stroke or something? We're bad.
We're so mean, Dana. We're mean. But look, it's not a neurological thing. She had the mumps, Dana, so it's okay.
Basically, it's the end of the school year. So just like 2 weeks ago, it was like the midterms. Now it's and that one podcast you had me listen to,
yeah,
those guys went on and on trying to figure out if this was the midterms, if this was just a seasonal break. I mean, it must have been 5-6 minutes of and not interesting talk.
Yeah, okay, so Dana, I don't want to bash another podcast, right? But I'm going to, because that podcast sucked. It was boring. And I just somehow I came across it. I didn't even listen to that much of it, Dana. I listened to like a minute and I'm like, oh, I got to send this to Dana because it's so bad. We think ours is bad. It's not as bad as this.
Yeah.
Should I say the name of the podcast?
Let's not for right now.
Okay. But they are two professors, which probably says it all, Dana.
Okay. I didn't realize. Yeah, but that says a lot. So
that says a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
But it is freaking boring. Boring, Dana.
Yeah.
I would much rather hear stories about butt chugging than listen to those guys.
Yeah, I am quite sure. I didn't listen to their whole podcast. I got no idea how long it was, but I'm sure that they did not get into butt chugging or eyeballing or whatever that was, vodka eyeballing.
Or any other crazy shit we talk about. Dolphins and whatever.
Yeah. And I'm sure they have no idea what a Schmitter is.
And you better believe, Dana, that they've never had North Shore Adult Diapers as a sponsor.
So the school year is done. And Aki is talking about how, the kids are free to go back to their lives and, and the show's kids like dancing and jumping up and down for joy and stuff. I mean, what kind of school is this? I mean, the kids are acting like they're getting out of jail.
Well, when I was teaching, Dana, that was how the teachers were at the end of the school year.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
In fact, whenever there was a snow day, you better believe the teachers enjoyed it more than the kids did.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were able to butt chug and, about to eyeball.
I got excited, Dan, because we actually see them. The ship is out in space.
Yeah.
And Aki goes on to say that they're en route to Beta Z. They're going to rendezvous with the Federation fleet for the dedication of our new seat of government.
Oh, that's right. They put it on Beta Z. That's right. What is the 300th night referred to? Have they been there 300 nights?
Apparently.
Okay, it's the end of the school year. There's been a lot of celebrating. They're going to be butt chugging and peanut shooting and doing all that stuff.
So we see a Klingon ritual with Worf's great grandson, and it's a ceremony to honor friends. So they all drink from the same bowl, which doesn't sound, like a healthy idea.
And they were doing like some type of chant.
Yeah, there's a Klingon phrase that they had to repeat. And then it comes to Caleb.
Well, hold on. I listened to that a couple times, Dana. And this is it. It goes, shush, chuck, butt, chug. That's what he was saying, Dana. I listened to like 3 times. I was like, they're butt chugging. Or they're chugging something that came out of his butt. I don't want to know, Dana. I really don't want to know.
Yeah. I don't want to know. Well, Caleb won't drink, so maybe he's the one that realized where that came from. So Caleb, he walks out of the little group, friends thing, and he gets on a turbo lift, and crazy as it may sound, he runs into Terima.
Never would have guessed it.
So this is where I started the drinking game. So he runs into Terima. They share an awkward look, and so I took a drink. Terima points out that things are weird between them because they saw each other naked, and she killed a bunch of people with her mind. Is she ever going to get over this?
No.
I think he needs to move on. So next we see the Admiral, again in a hologram, explaining to Aki that Nusbraka, our friend Nutbreaker, stole a weapon from Starbase J19 Alpha, and he detonated a single particle of Omega-47 a few hours ago.
Wait, isn't that the stuff that they put in the butter spread that you get at the grocery store that's supposed to be good for you?
Yeah, I take an Omega-3 every day. So this is like, this is, I don't know what the math is there, but it's several times more than an Omega-3.
What was it, Omega-47? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it'd be about a 15.1 difference or so-ish. 15.2, I would say.
So in Sector 953, outside the border of Federation space, he detonated this, a synthetic variant of pure Omega with destructive capacity in the same apocalyptic range. Did you understand all that?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening, Dana. What did you just say?
Well, I took this straight out of the transcripts because I wasn't listening.
No, I was not listening when they were talking about this.
And then they said either it was a show of power or a test run at a larger plan. And then they said Sector 953 was uninhabited, but space and subspace in the sector were shredded.
Whoa, that doesn't sound good.
Can you actually shred space?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I did contact Dammit Jim, the university. Well, first I called up the cosmetology department and I was like, can you shred space? And I'm like, well, we can take care of split ends and things like that. And I was like, oh, sorry, my mistake. I meant cosmology, I think is what I actually meant.
Aki says he tarted the Miyazaki.
Wait, he tarted? He tarted?
What? Is that what I said?
Yeah, he tarted. I think you meant he sharded, Dana. He sharded the Miyazaki.
Aki says he targeted the Miyazaki.
Well, the mumps, man, they really messed her up. Apparently she's had a hard time saying a lot of things.
But his end game was the Omega because he's lacking that in his diet. Says, I knew he wasn't done with us. And the Admiral says that wasn't the only classified weapon held there. And then they say that Nutbreakers developed a time-delayed containment device, which they're saying are Omega-47 mines.
Mimes, Dana. He's making mimes with this Omega-40. Holy shit, the Federation better get on this because this is bad, Dana. Exploding mimes. I mean, look, I like to see a mime explode as much as the next guy.
Yeah. Well, I think you could do a whole show about that. I'd be ecstatic.
Oh, that would be great. Can you imagine just a mime, walking down the street and it just explodes and then the whole
Pretending
mystery
he's in a
starts.
box. Boom.
That's the containment field he's created. This is a mime in a box.
We're not crossing a field with a bunch of exploding mimes. We don't want to cross mimes as it is.
Oh man.
I'm
Pulling
crying.
on the rope, and it blows up.
Oh no.
These professor guys, they are not talking about exploding mimes, Dana. You
I
better
can guarantee
believe.
that, yeah.
It'd be funny if we got into like a little, kind of beef with these guys and they start talking about us and we'd never know because we don't listen to them. And their fans get all pissed off. Well, you shouldn't make fun of the professors because they're really smart. Whom do you think you are? Actually, that would be incorrect.
Yeah, it would.
So exploding mimes. Okay, he's got in a containment field. All right.
Aki asks why he hasn't used them on them. And the Admiral tells them to continue to Betazoid, but be on guard.
I think it's Beta Z. Betazoid is a suppository, Dana, that you take when you can't take this show anymore. It's like, I'm doing the Betazoid now.
Dan, this whole thing has been one long Betazoid. So
It really has, Dana.
yeah. So Caleb's in his room and Sam just pops in. Apparently there's like a new feature that she has.
I didn't know she could do this.
There's a bonding moment between Sam and Caleb.
Wait, when you say bonding, is that a euphemism for something? Are they...
No, it's just them, sharing thoughts and stuff.
And she's a computer projection, right?
Yeah.
So he wasn't trying to mount her hard drive or anything, is what you're saying.
No.
So his disk was still floppy.
So, and this is another point where you drink, Dan. There's more teen angst. Kayla's mom still hasn't reached out to him. And then Sam helps him say, she's trying to help him figure it out. And he tries the word Ashani. That's the moon they saw in the very first episode.
As the word to break the encryption, right?
Yeah. Then he puts it into his iPad thing.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of messages pop up.
Like 2 years worth, he says.
Yeah.
And I was afraid he was going to read every single one of them.
I thought this was the rest of the show. Yeah, him reading all the messages. And so he listens to the messages. Sam watches him. I took another drink. All her messages sound hurried. She's always like, Caleb, I've got to get this out to you. I'm on the run. I'm going to this. Then it's like, Caleb, I hope you get this.
There's a mime chasing me, Caleb. There's a mime chasing me.
It's just, there's a mime pretending he's caught me with a rope and he's pulling me towards him.
I can't get away. Caleb, I can't get away.
I don't see the rope, but he's got me. I know he does.
And I think I broke the rope, but I can't get through the wind. The wind is so strong. I've come up against a glass wall, Caleb. I can't get through it, Caleb. Help me, Caleb. Help me.
The mime goes around the box, and I could see that he's showing me the walls of the box. They're so powerful.
Can you imagine a race in Star Trek? Okay, this would be great, Dana. A race of mimes that are really powerful, and they put like the wind, they make the wind, and they get you with, like you were just saying, ropes that you can't see. Put you in a glass box.
Oh, don't give these writers any ideas. I mean, it's
just... it's going to show up next season.
Yeah. Whew. He figures out where she's at after like the 400th message. And she's on a planet that's in danger of being attacked by the Venari Rawl, which is Nutbreaker's group.
Usually, if you have protection, the chances of getting the Venari Rawl to invade your planet is pretty low. It can still happen. You can still sometimes get through that protection, Dana.
Yeah, you would think after all this time they'd have a little bit more sturdy protection. So,
especially around a planet that they know the Venarial Rawl are trying to get into.
And you know that he's going to try to get to this planet.
Oh, yeah.
First, he goes and finds Terima, take a drink,
Oh, God. Yeah, there's the drink again.
tells her he hopes she finds peace and that her name reminds him of music. So I took another drink at that point. So he goes to a shuttle and he's preparing to steal the shuttle when Sam shows up.
Pops in, right? She just pops in again.
Yeah, and she's in like the command chair.
Yeah.
So she says she has to live and she explains why she's needed.
But you're not real, Sam. You're not real. You're a freaking hologram. You're not real. She needs an intervention, okay? Someone needs to tell her that she's not real.
She won't listen. Then Genesis comes along and then Darum. And Darum is drunk.
Drunk. You know why?
Because he cannot process the enzymes.
Right. Because he was, doing the Klingon butt chugging thing, and you don't want to do that, Dana. That's dangerous. Yeah. So he doesn't have the enzymes to process alcohol, doesn't have them to process bananas. What about lactose? Do you think he's got those ones, Dana?
Oh, I think he'd have a major problem, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, North Shore adult diapers wouldn't be able to handle it. Dana. They'd need this omega containment field. They need a mime in a box, Dana. That's what they would need.
Sam locks them all inside the shuttle and they take off.
And no one knows they're gone, Dana?
There's no warning.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the 23rd century, they had warnings when a shuttle was taken.
Right.
So next we see Terima goes to Jaden. I took another drink. Jaden shows her the message from Caleb's mom.
So they're just in Caleb's room now, like looking through stuff?
I don't know. He was like standing at a window and then he turns around. He's got his iPad and he shows it to her and she's like, oh, damn. And she runs off.
Okay, Dana, you've written for television. You know how this works. So you write a script and someone goes through it and they're like, well, this part doesn't make sense with something earlier in the script. Don't you think you should fix it? And the writers are probably like, no one's going to notice. Who's going to notice?
Yeah, those two guys on the podcast, but that's it.
And not the professor guys, because those guys are boring. No one needs to worry about them. But these two guys on the podcast, the Damn Jim podcast, we better be listening to what they have to say.
Then we see the shuttle's having issues. They make it through. It's like another, what they call it, a warp hole or something that they went through. I don't know.
Yeah, the warp hole, that's another type of hole that you can apparently ingest alcohol to. It's the warp hole.
Right after they make it through, okay, Darum throws up. And of course, he throws up glitter. And it's like down in his chest.
Yeah, and on his pants. And he even says something like, oh, I got it all over myself.
Yeah. On the planet where Caleb's mom is supposed to be, the group beams down. The place looks pretty ghetto. It reminded me of Blade Runner a little bit.
Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah.
So the group splits up. Caleb goes off to find his mom. They need to find some parts to fix the shuttle. Back on Athena, Aki tells the Admiral they'll hold up on Beta Z. And once the cadets are off the ship, Jet Reno, the doctor, and Aki will go after the shuttle.
Well, I had kind of hopes there. Jet Reno, I like that character.
So Caleb finds his mom, and they have a moment where they realize, mother and son reunion. And so I took another drink. They both cried, and I took another drink.
Oh boy, Dana, how did you even make it through the rest of the episode?
I'm doing this all for the Damn It Jim Starfleet Academy drinking game, Dan.
So you're beta testing it, kind of.
Yeah. Is it beta Zoid testing?
I think that's it, yeah.
So they spend time in slow motion, hugging and talking. So I took another drink. And she keeps crying. So I took another drink. Since Sam shows up. And then the rest of the gang shows up. We go to the Athena. As they approach the end of Federation space, they see a mine. It's off in the distance.
A mime again, Dana. Those mimes are insidious.
And it's an exploding mine. It's the worst kind. And then they find Terima and Jaden hiding on the ship. So I took another drink. Back on the planet, Caleb's mom is trying to get the kids on their way. Caleb doesn't want to tell her that they're from Starfleet.
Well, she's got a thing against Starfleet, right? Because they're the ones who put her in jail.
Yeah. The gang realizes that Caleb isn't coming back with them.
Right.
And they're all like, no way, dude.
Did you take a drink there?
Yeah.
You probably should just write down when you haven't taken a drink.
Yeah, that'd be easier.
It'd be easier.
Darum asks Caleb about if he told Jaden about his plans. Caleb says no, and Durham says, he invited you into his house. He made you family.
See, here's one of the problems with this show, Dana. One of many is the writers are writing these things like they want us to care. You know, they have not put the work in to make it so that we actually feel something. I mean, I felt something, but not what they intended, Dana.
Caleb says it was just a stupid ritual, and Durham yells, not to him. And so I took another drink. Caleb tells him he had a choice, prison or the academy. Now he can make a choice without a gun to his head. And he says, I never needed the academy. I never needed you, looking at his friends. Everyone's crying. So I took another drink.
Did you take a drink for each person who's crying, Dana?
No, that I wouldn't have made it through the rest of the show.
You'd be in the hospital right now.
Maybe if I butt chugged it.
Yeah.
Caleb calls everyone out with pretty harsh half-truths, tells Genesis that
you're a slut. And Durham, you're just a fish boy.
So when he turns to Sam, she runs forward and hugs him. If she was a hologram, wouldn't she just go right through him? I mean, yeah, so like a ghost.
Didn't they try in an earlier episode, like to grab her or something? And
yeah, somebody went to grab her. Yeah. So I took another drink at that point. So Genesis says, you're the smartest guy in the room, aren't you? Committed to being a messed up little kid forever, which I kind of like that line because that's him. He's a messed up little kid. They take off and they get stopped by some soldiers.
Are they venereal raw soldiers, Dana, or who are these people?
I didn't know. They just said, you know, they just stopped him and said, what are you doing here? And I wasn't really paying attention.
Well, you were drunk off your ass, Dana. That's why.
Yeah, that's probably a part of it too. So Caleb tells his mom he has to help them. She questions why, and he runs off.
Yeah.
Kids are getting roughed up by the soldiers, really only Durham. And it's a female commander, but she keeps telling one of the other male soldiers to punch Durham every time that she was not getting any information out of them.
That was the best part of this episode, Dana, punching him in the face. Yeah. And punch the rest of them.
I want to see you punch Sam.
Now, okay, Dana, this whole Sam thing, right? They're kind of like tied up or in some kind of handcuffs. Now, can't you just like zap out of there, you know?
Exactly. And not that I wanted to get, see women get hit.
I don't want to see anyone get hit, Dana. Right. Well, except a mime. Man, woman, doesn't matter. They deserve to be hit.
Caleb's mom comes up and tries to help. And then a fight breaks out and Caleb's helping and then he tries to stop it and then she gets shot.
It's like, okay, if you're going to shoot somebody, shoot Sam.
The Athena says they can't beam them up. And so they have to get close in to beam them up. Well, they like come inside the atmosphere and like are right over the building that they're in. But it causes a big commotion. Everybody can see the ship up in the sky.
And there's wind. There's, blowing stuff down. You got mimes trying to fight through the wind. It was a whole thing, Dana.
One's trying to save another one with a rope. And yeah. So it causes a giant commotion. Soldiers are all freaking out. And then they beam everyone up, including Caleb's mom. Well, they finally get to warp. And they realize that 3 venereal disease ships are following them.
Those venereal disease ships, they just stick around unless you deal with them, Dana. You got to deal with them.
Yeah, you got to deal with them early on. So Reno says all 3 ships can kiss her ass.
Best line in the entire series, Dana.
Yeah. Aki orders the kids to stations to help out as they're being fired upon.
Oh, do you think that was a good idea, Dana? A few weeks ago, they totally fucked up the simulation and everyone died.
Well, that Orca or whatever, the Tarima's brother,
Orca.
He wasn't on there. Occam something.
So we got the fish guy. Now we got a guy who's a whale, apparently. Killer whale. Killer whales are pretty cool, though. They're pretty cool looking,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But they are probably the mimes of the whale world because they're black and white. Mimes are always dressed in black and white, right?
I never thought about it that way, yeah. So
I wonder if the rest of the whales look at it that way. Oh, shit, let's get out of here. Here come the orcas again.
They're pretending they're swimming. Yeah, they're
swimming against the current. Someone did a fish, got a fishing line out there and they're pretending that they're hooked,
those killer whales are so annoying.
In fact, this is why the other whales say, look, they're killer whales. You got to stay away from them. But really, it's because they're mimes and no one wants to be caught near them, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And the killer whales are always pretending they're caught in a net and can't get out.
It's more fun talking about mimes, Dana, than it is about this episode, even though we hate mimes.
So they get knocked out of warp. The 3 ships put them in a tractor beam. And that's what venereal diseases do. And it's not that I know firsthand.
And just like we don't know about butt chugging firsthand or vodka eyeballing, Dana, or peanut butter injecting. We just hear these things.
Aki orders to cut the saucer. And when she said that, I was kind of like, cut the saucer? Just is her lisp so bad she's trying to say cut the sausage?
Well, when you said she cut the sausage, Dana, that's a whole nother meaning.
But what you mean is separate the saucer. And the venereal disease people fire on it as it separates.
They got the tractor beam on the ship, but yet part of the ship can still get away, Dana?
They showed the tractor beams on everything but the saucer.
Yeah, so as soon as it starts to separate, you don't think someone on one of those other ships goes, hey, get the sausage. They're cutting the sausage. Catch the sausage.
The sausage is all that matters, yeah. So,
well, sir, that's how we got to be known as the venereal raw to begin with, is we, caught the sausage.
Yeah. So they try to get back to Federation space. Then Reno spots more mines.
Oh, those mimes, Dana, they're fucking everywhere.
And so we see on the screen the mines are cordoning off Federation space. When did they find time? They were only gone like 20 minutes.
Right, yeah.
When did they find time to put all these mines in place?
Well, Dana, mimes are very quick. They're agile,
So they can't get back home. And Reno says there's no way to get through the minefield. So they go into a nebula. We've never seen this before, to block the Venari Raw from being able to detect them. Nobody's figured out how to use sensors that can penetrate a nebula.
Apparently there's no penetration there. Well, Kirk's not here. If Kirk was here, there'd be penetrating happening.
Lots of penetrating.
Well, he may have been like the beginning of the venereal raw,
He was the progenitor of it, yeah. So
on every ship, they've got like his picture somewhere, light little candles next to it.
In sickbay, the doctor tells Caleb his mom will make a full recovery. He smiled. I took another drink.
Oh, man.
She gets up and sees the comm badge on the doctor and she freaks out. And then Aki shows up and they lock eyes. This is seething hate.
Right.
Then we see the Athena and the nebula as Reno sends a distress signal. It says, Mayday, Mayday, please respond.
There's mimes all around us. We can't get away from the mimes. And there's some killer whales too. It's a whole thing now.
Says, can anyone respond? And because we all know mimes don't speak. And so if somebody responds, it's not going to be a mime.
Oh, man, that's a good point, Dana.
Dan, that's how this episode ends. So, Dan, what do you got for pros for this episode?
Dana, I have 2. One is Tig Notaro, highlight of the series so far. Really good. And then, Dana, except for the usual teenage stupidity that was in the beginning of the episode, we finally get what I think could kind of be considered, in a few parts, a Star Trek episode. And I think it might be because Jonathan Frakes directed this thing, Dana. How about some pros for you?
There was some good action with the fighting and stuff. I like the Omega mines, that they're so terrible.
They're worse than a regular mime, Dana. They're like far worse than a regular mime.
And like you said, Tig Notaro. To me, she kind of made the show. How about cons, Dan?
Yeah, the good stuff is probably not going to last, Dana. I mean, I'm gonna take a guess here. I'm gonna step out on a limb that it's just not gonna last very long. How about a con for you?
So you mean to tell me this was all part of Nutbreaker's big plan to get them trapped outside Federation space so they could put up this minefield and keep them from getting home. He planned on the mom being on this planet and Caleb stealing a shuttle and Aki chasing Caleb down with the Athena. He planned all that. That man is a freaking genius.
He's one smart nutbreaker.
Yeah. Lots of sappy stuff throughout. And then why would Jaden and Tarima hide out on the ship? They offer nothing.
Right.
So Dan, what do you hope for?
Dana, I hope that another way of ingesting alcohol gets invented. So when things go back to the usual crap in this series, that I can, I don't know, ear blast or vodka nose snort or whatever is going to get me through this crap, Dana. How about you? What do you hope for?
Someone dies.
Are you talking about a character or the writers or a producer or?
At this point, I don't care. Yeah, just give me a death. I'm also hoping this helps the kids to grow and be men and women instead of freaking kids. What do you worry about, Dan?
A lot of things, Dana, keep me up at night. But for this show, I'm worried that we're getting set up for disappointment, Dana. I thought there was some good stuff in this show. I just don't think it's going to last. What are you worried about?
I worry we'll get a whole lot more sap and teen angst. The season 1 and a cliffhanger that will make us have to watch season 2. And then once this battle is over, we'll go back to mushy over emotional teen issues.
I want to ask you a prediction. Maybe we should both make this prediction. Does Nutbreaker live through the next episode, or does he die at the end of the season?
Oh, he lives.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone dying. Maybe they put him back in jail, though, or something.
I was going to say he might be in jail.
Okay.
We're almost done. What are your final thoughts?
Dana, I thought some parts of this episode were pretty good. We had some action. There was a villain, although unseen, and Nutbreaker, Nutsbacker, whatever his name is, Dana. We had the mimes made a return, and they're always good for kind of, the evil villain stuff. And even though there was some stupid stuff, even though there was a lot of stupid stuff, like the glitter puke and the turbo lift conversation between Caleb and Tiramisu, we had the cadets working together. That was kind of a step forward. Maybe even better, Holly Hunter and Tig Notaro, both, Dana, were really good in this episode. I thought Holly Hunter was excellent. Maybe they should ditch like the whole Academy angle and just have these two flying around in space, being total badasses, and spouting off funny one-liners. If she wears shoes and the words don't include a lot of S's, I think it would be great. And then because of this episode, Dana, I am kind of looking forward to the next episode just to see what happens, Maybe this is the cliffhanger. Maybe we don't get a cliffhanger. A hammer. I'm going to get a hammer, Dana. Maybe we don't get a cliffhanger into season 2. I don't really know. But I'm hoping that I'm not going to be disappointed, but I probably will be. How about final thoughts from you?
Dan, I drank a lot through this show, so I don't remember all of it. But as I recall, there were some good moments in here, some exciting moments. Stealing the shuttle seemed a little far-fetched to me, as we discussed. But it provided some tension, and they used it for humor as well. It bothers me that sometimes Caleb doesn't act as smart as he's supposed to be. He's like a genius with some things, and then he's like an idiot with others. And there's still a whole lot of teen angst going on. Maybe this will change over the course of the show. But, when we start next season, there's going to be new characters added who are going to have the same kind of teen angst stuff. And, oh my God, it concerns me. Like you, I thought Tig Notaro really helped carry the show. Big fan of the Doctor, want him to keep progressing and doing more. There's potential. What I've seen from potential and what I've seen of reality are two different things.
I think you're right. I don't know if it's going to change at all. Well, hey, it was still fun, Dana. We only have to butt chug through one more of these things.
Yeah, I don't know if my liver can take it, Dan, but we'll see.
Remember, if you butt chug it, it bypasses the liver.
Oh, that's true.
It's actually better medically. I'm not a doctor, but I've been to doctors, So I think I can speak with some authority here. For your liver, it's better, Dana. It's not better in any other way.
Yeah, because you can still get alcohol poisoning.
It can still kill you. Yeah. What do you think a mime would look like if it was trying to mime butt chugging? Would it make sense? Like, would we know? Would we get it, Dana?
Oh, I think we'd get it. I don't think there's two ways around what that's going to look like.
All right, Dana. Well, I had a great time.
Yeah, same here, Dan. It's always fun to get together with you and talk about Star Trek when it's actually like Star Trek. And then next week, after doing next week's episode,
Yeah.
we'll also discuss what we're going to do next.
We will? Okay. Maybe we should figure that out.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wanted to bring you in on that plan. So,
Okay, good.
So I think we'll have some surprises coming up.
Well, it'll be a surprise to me.
As always, thanks for writing in. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to tell your friends about it.
And if you happen to run across a Star Trek podcast that might have the word Academy in it and might be hosted by two professors, you might want to send them like an invite to listen to our show, maybe this episode that we just did. I'm sure they would find it enlightening.
I'd learn a lot. Okay, well, until we meet again, live long and prosper.
Thanks once again for listening to Damn It Jim, the podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Please send us an email at dammitjimpodcast@gmail.com or join the discussion on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. You can also reach us at the Damn It Jim hotline at 509-676-6298. This podcast was produced by Dan Calzaretta and Dana Smith for Ramble Jar Productions. Editing by Dan Calzaretta. If you would like to be a Damn It Jim sponsor, please send us an email at dammitjimpodcast@gmail.com. Have a great rest of your week, and remember to live long and prosper.